can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Jason Miller.
So can you tell us what's happening in the SMOC?
So this is my interpretation of basically what happened at the end of episode 12 in the Andor series. So at the end of that episode, you had the Rix Road riots, where basically all the citizens kind of revolted against the Empire and started beating them back. And so this is my Imperial response to the Rix Road riots. So I'm a big Rogue One fan. So this is the Scarif Battalion that's been forward deployed to quell the Rix Road riots and the rebellion taking place on Ferrix.
Nice. How many minifigures do you think are in the SMOC?
There's 1,621 on the board.
Wow, and how long did it take you to get all these minifigures, and how did you get them?
So all the Scarif troopers came from the old Rogue One sets, so that's where almost all of them came from. And then half of the Stormtroopers came from whenever Star Wars Rebels was out, they had a battle pack. So I also have probably 3 columns worth of Death Troopers, because there's 2 Death Troopers and 2 Stormtroopers in that battle pack. But I didn't think I needed 3 columns of Death Troopers out here, so I didn't bring them. And then the other half of all the Stormtroopers came from the new Mandalorian sets.
Nice. And can you tell us about the different vehicles and how you made them?
Yep, so all the vehicles out here are all custom MOCs except for the 2 TIE bombers, and being part of a lug, LEGO likes us to incorporate sets and show how you can put a set into a MOC. So I put those 2 out there. They actually look pretty good. It's definitely a good buy. But the hover tanks are basically heavily used in this era by the Empire. You saw them in Rogue One, same way with the walkers, the AT-STs. And anytime the Empire was doing a forward deployed rapid action force, basically, these are kind of the 2 things in Star Wars lore that was being forward deployed. And then the speeders they're custom speeders, but actually they're from a guy that sells the instructions off of Rebrickable. So those are his design. But the large Zeta class cargo ship over there, I actually built that 7 years ago. It's been sitting in my basement on a shelf for 7 years. So this is the first time it's ever been to a show. And then the 2 landing crafts are mine as well. Those have been built for a few years, but
that's crazy. Can you tell us the building process for the ground and all the landing pads?
Yep. So for the ground and everything, just to get that randomness. So the colors are of Ferrix. Ferrix, has the same color tones. But I basically put everything, basically 10 different parts in a bucket, and it's all just random picking to basically put all of. So there's no patterns. It's everything. There's no rhyme or reason to everything. The landing pads in the show, there was 2 landing pads separated by a giant silo. So that's what I've done here. You have the lower pad and then the upper pad. One of the things I did on the upper pad is I greebled all the way around. So, Star Wars always has lots of greebling in the build, so everything there is all greebled. All the lighting is from bevansbricks.com. That's probably the best lighting out there on the market. But
I really like how what you did with the pathway, that you made it a kind of the sand on the pathway. I don't really see that in lots of the MOCs.
Yeah, so Ferrix was basically a desert planet, or not necessarily a desert planet, but very windy planet, not a lot of vegetation. It's mainly a mining planet, so there's always going to be dust flying around and everything, and I just tried to incorporate that to cover it up.
Nice. And what's with that building over there?
So that is my version. So in the series, you only get a brief glimpse of it, and so that's something I built years ago for basically an old Scarif MOC. And I just kind of reshaped it and added in the nougat color to it. But that's my command building. And so you have the new Imperial, basically, officer over there issuing orders to all the squad leaders before they go out on patrol.
Nice. And what do you think are in these boxes over there? And how did you make the boxes like that?
So all the boxes are custom, but anytime any military force forward deploys in a rapid reaction, they always have lots of supplies, basically food, weapons, munitions, things like that. So I just wanted to build a lot of different types of containers, because in Star Wars we see a lot of different types of containers, and I just used them kind of to fill in spots and put out.
Nice. How long did it take you to make this MOC?
I started on it back at Christmas.
That's a very long while. And what is that like? I think water shed or something like that.
So, well, basically, like there are going to be fuel depots and different types of fuels for all the different aircraft that will be landing on the landing pads for refueling the aircraft. And so that's what those are supposed to represent.
Nice. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks. Have a good day.